Hello and welcome to the Kitchen Design Experts. This is the channel that tells you all you need to know about kitchens, kitchen design and kitchen appliances. Now today we're going to be talking about your wish list. Now this video is really designed for people who are just starting out on that journey of buying a new fitted kitchen and perhaps you don't know where to start. Now from my point of view, you don't at this stage have to get involved with specifics. You don't really need to know all the modes you can have on your dishwasher or what cooking systems are available in ovens. But it's handy if you can work with a good designer who does know these things, and after conversing with you, they can impart all the knowledge that they've got and talk about specifics for appliances and new things that are available inside kitchen cupboards. So the first tip we have for you is try and find a good designer. Now we have done previous videos on how to go about this, but quickly do some legwork. Go around maybe 5 or 6 kitchen studios, see how people deal with you and choose the best 3. And then invite those 3 people round to your home, listen to what they have to say, and then you'll find out what is a good designer. From the conversations you have with them, they will be able to tell you what they know and you'll be able to assess their knowledge, and hopefully that will tell you who really you want to deal with for your new fitted kitchen. But although you shouldn't get involved with specifics, it is good to have some ideas of the things that you want, hence a kitchen wish list. Now this is really helpful for us kitchen designers. It saves time and it also ensures that the end product is as close as it can possibly be to what our clients want. So first of all, we're going to start with your wish list, and one of the most important parts of any wish list is your list of required appliances. So, appliances. When we're designing fitted kitchens, most of the effort into that design, most of the things that we need to know to get that design right for you is based around what appliances are going in there: ovens, hobs, dishwashers, fridge freezers, etc. And the type, the size, all helps your designer begin with that first design. Now, I did say don't get involved with specifics, and I do genuinely mean that, but it's good if you can give your designer a rough idea of the type of appliances you want. You can be generalistic. Basically, do you want a single cavity oven or a double cavity oven? Do you want a slim dishwasher, 8 place settings, or would you need more? Do you want a full 60 centimetre wide dishwasher, 12 place settings? What capacity of fridge and freezer do you ideally need in this new fitted kitchen? Do you need a boiling water tap or a wine chiller? Just make a little list of the basic appliances that you think you want. The actual designer will come back at you and talk a little bit more about the specifics. Do you want an oven that cleans itself? What about the decibels on your cooker hood or your dishwasher? A good designer will lead you into that conversation. But if you can give him the basics, that's a great first step. When I say don't get involved with specifics though, if there are specifics, let's just say you make a lot of bread. You might want a door-proofing setting on your oven. Or you might do a lot of your business might be wedding cakes, and you have to cook those cakes in a certain way. There's certain ovens that can bake with steam and keeps the cake nice and moist. So if you do have any specifics, again, let your designer know and they'll be able to help you. Moving on, basically the next step I will consider in making your wish list, it'll be based around small appliances, things that you put on your worktop. Now the small appliances do affect the design. A good designer will need to know, do you want a bread maker? Do you keep your mixer on the worktop, or would you like your mixer to go away somewhere? There's other small appliances such as coffee makers, and so for some people your coffee making station is a very important part of the kitchen. But you might say, yes, I have this wonderful all singing, all dancing coffee maker, but I don't really want to see it on display, but I don't want to have to keep bringing it out. Is there any way we can disguise it? And there are many, many ways of doing just that. We have special units that you open a cupboard door and a worktop will lift up and lock into place, which carries your mixer. So you don't always have to have your mixer out. You can have it inside the cupboard and it's just click a little latch and it slides back in for you. There's so many things we can do for you in the kitchen industry to help solve your problem, especially when it comes to small appliances. And let's face it, in these open plan kitchens, you don't want to see on your beautiful island all these appliances scattered all over the place. It's very important from a visual point of view and a worktop space point of view to have somewhere to put them. And that's what your designer needs to know. So do not ignore small appliances. Choose the ones that you want to talk about and make sure they either get housed or located somewhere in your kitchen to your satisfaction. Now let's just consider, now we've done the appliances, we've put those to one side. Yes, they're important, but you also need to give the designer some sort of input about the kitchen units as well. And really, the best way of going about talking about what you need in your kitchen is have a look at your existing kitchen, or maybe think about a kitchen you had in the past, and think about the things that really annoy you. Think about everything you think, oh, if I have a new kitchen, I will not have one of those. There can be so many items on this list. Waste bins. We have so much trouble with waste bins, I can't tell you. But recycle bins. Why do you have to empty one every single day? It's not big enough. You get fed up of keep going to the bin outside. So you want a recycle bin that will accommodate more waste. You might get really annoyed with the fact that your dishwasher's in a position that's so far away from where your storage units are, you're walking miles backwards and forwards. So you want to consider that in your new design. You might have a cooker hood that makes so much noise when it's on the full belt that you don't turn it on, you don't use it. So that's the decibel levels of a new cooker hood might be important to you. Think about preparation space. Have you got enough? Is it in the right place? If you need that, talk to your designer about it. There's ways and means of coming up with a new design that will position sinks and hobs in a way that it maximises your preparation space. Again, we've done numerous videos on that point. There's so many things that will be annoying you about your kitchen, and many of them are the main reason why you want a kitchen in the first place. So don't ignore them, list them. It's vital that you do this. Now let's move on down your list now to another item that I think is extremely important in, I'd say, at least 50% of the kitchens that we design. And I think it's almost as important as your appliance list, and that is eating in a kitchen. Because many of our clients want to eat in some way or other in the kitchen, and trying to incorporate that into designs, that can be very tricky to get it just right. And sort of questions you want to ask yourself is what height you want to eat at. Do you want to eat at a bar height, sitting on a stool? Do you want to eat at a lower chair height, so it's more table height, 750mm high? Do you want to cater for 2 people or 4 people? Or are you flexible? You've got to let your kitchen designer know what your ideal is, and they can try and make that ideal work. And many times when we present designs to people, we might do a master plan, so to speak, but then we'll do maybe 3 other designs showing 3 different ways of creating an eating area within the kitchen. So it is very important, but you've got to have a base idea of what your maximum requirement is, but also have a minimum requirement, because sometimes, and the word compromise is used a lot in kitchen design, you may have to compromise a little bit on your ideal eating solution. But first of all, you have to know what your ideal is. Now you might think that your designer's going to want to know what colours you want in your kitchen. At the initial stages, that isn't actually that important, and sometimes it can even muddy the waters a bit. The only reason we ever ask for an idea on colours is that when we present designs, obviously we do some lovely CAD perspectives, and it is nice to have the doors and the worktops and the floor covering and the curtains done in a colour that perhaps our clients at least like. But as opposed to colour, maybe give some consideration to style. Because again, when you're designing a kitchen, different styles can require a different design. So if you're thinking of a traditional shaker with cornice and pelmets and tongue and grooving, designers need to know this. If you want a contemporary kitchen, handleless, white gloss or whatever, again, vital information for your designer. Or your kitchen might be more transitional, something in the middle. But as I say, when we're designing kitchens, we do like to know the style that's going to be required. Because I would say that if we designed a traditional kitchen from the same wish list of a client who wants a contemporary kitchen, those designs would actually be quite different, simply because of the style that we're building into that design. Also, in thinking about all these elements, from appliances, small appliances, eating areas, styles, etc., cutlery inserts, waste bins, everything like that, when you're thinking about all these things that you need, remember to future-proof your kitchen. And what we mean by that is there may be a good chance that this fitted kitchen you're going to have is going to last 20-25 years, and your lifestyle will change in that period of time. So if you're of an age, consider that in 20 years time your knees, your back, your hips might be on the blink a little bit. So maybe more things that pull out, more things that are waist height so you don't have to bend down. It may be that on the horizon youngsters might be on the way, be it your children or your grandchildren, and sometimes you've got to think about that as far as, let's say, how hard wearing is the kitchen door, if it's going to get dinky cars thrown at it and tricycles banged into them. So when I say future proof, it can be difficult, but yes, consider the future and try and get your kitchen to make sure it's adapted to how you might be 10-15 years down the line. Okay, you've formed this wish list, you've written it all down, you've got a long list of your ideal requirements of what you want from your fitted kitchen. Now obviously the word ideal sort of jumps out at you there. Depends on the size of the room and things that are going on in the room. It may not be possible to incorporate everything you want. So the most important thing you've got to do with your wish list is prioritise it. Start to put things in some semblance. You can keep the headings of appliances, small appliances, etc. Keep those headings and the lists underneath them. But within those headings, list the items that you are not prepared to compromise on. Alright, so it may just be that one of the most important things to you is to have your oven at waist height, and it's got to be a double cavity oven, so you've got the flexibility of cooking at different temperatures, etc. That might be absolutely vital to you, but it might be that you've asked for a full height fridge and a full height freezer, and that's not as important. The full height fridge might be, but do you need that capacity of freezer? That's not maybe as important as the size of the fridge and the double oven at waist height. So you need to put some red lines underneath the items that you are not prepared to compromise on. Now this helps designers tremendously. As using that last analogy, basically we're looking at, say, putting a run of housings together, and you might have asked for a big fridge up to the ceiling, a big freezer up to the ceiling, and two single ovens side by side, because you like the look of them side by side. But when your designer's doing your kitchen, he realises that 4 tall housings, all 60 centimetres wide, are not going to fit very well, and it means that one's going to be on a separate wall, and that isn't going to look too good. So if we knew what it was that you were prioritising, we'd come back with a suggestion that maybe the 2 single ovens, rather than being side by side, went on top of each other, hence reducing the housings from 4 to 3. So knowing what is your important appliance, what is the thing that you're not prepared to compromise on, really speeds along the design process and helps us come up with the ideas that will suit you best. When you've actually gone through your list and done the red lines, whether it be a big waste bin or a table for 4 or whatever, put the things under you're not prepared to compromise on. When you finally get to a design that you're about to go to your kitchen design and say, sign up, can you sign up, and yes, we're placing our order, wonderful, marvellous, just pause, dig out your wish list, which, let's face it, you could have made 6 months ago. Just make sure that this design that you're accepting conforms to your wish list, that all the items that you've underlined in red have been incorporated into this new design. To me, the wish list, when we get one, right at the very beginning of our conversation with clients, if we get a wish list, it makes our job so much easier, because we know straight away what it is that you're after, what's important to you, and it can shorten the conversation basically. I hope we get there even without a wish list, but it's so much easier if we have one. And we can virtually assure our clients that the end product is going to tick 90% of the boxes at least that they've put down on their wish list. So please, if you are thinking of starting out buying a fitted kitchen, just sit down for an hour and start to make a wish list along the lines of what I've been mentioning today. It will save you lots of time and hopefully lots of heartaches. That's great, thanks for watching, and as usual, if you enjoy our channel, please subscribe, it helps us tremendously, and I look forward to seeing you again in the future. Thanks, bye bye.